Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood. Now it's 6:30.
Good evening. This is News 6 at 6:30. Getting results. Thanks for joining us here live on News 6 Plus. I'm Lisa Bell in for Ginger Gadsden.
Glad to have you with us this evening. I'm Matt Austin. Let's get you straight to your 7-day forecast.
Yeah, guys, and it's going to be a warm evening. It's going to be a warm couple of days. I think for the most part, rain chances tonight are extremely low. The bulk of the action, extreme southern Osceola, southern Brevard. We'll get you a look at the future radar at the planar evening coming up in about 15 minutes. We're hanging around 80. Weak system comes through Wednesday into Thursday. No rain associated with that next system. It does take us back down to closer where we should be at this time of the year. Average high temperatures are around 80. We desperately need the rain. It looks like we're going to have a decent shot. I think we're going to watch this 30% number start to tick up over the next couple of days as we get more confidence in the timing of a pretty large storm system sliding through the deep south. So that could be a site for sore eyes and sore lawns over the next couple of days. So take a closer look at that system as well. 20% shot for a few showers to continue into Monday. We are going to keep things pretty toasty, guys, over the next 7 days.
Yes, we are. Jonathan, thank you. Well, under a recent Florida law, drivers caught on camera passing a stopped school bus can get a traffic ticket. The law was intended to protect students and save lives.
But there have been a lot of issues. Just this month, a class action lawsuit was filed against a Florida school district over its bus cameras. And complaints about ticket mistakes have prompted a sheriff to review the program.
News 6 investigator Mike DeForest spoke with a Central Florida man who says he got a school bus violation committed by somebody else a long ways away.
On sunny days, Ray Shover loves cruising around on his motorcycle.
It's just nice. I mean, Florida's a great place to ride.
Shover says he rarely takes long road trips. That's why he was so surprised to get this violation notice in the mail saying his bike illegally passed a school bus. It happened more than 250 miles away from his Volusia County home in Miami Beach.
I ain't never been to Miami in my life. Well, I can't say that. I have got lost one time going to the Keys and went through. But that was over 20 years ago.
Here's video from the school bus cameras. The bus stops, a group of kids and adults walk in front of it, then seconds later, a bike zooms by. Now take a closer look. The violator appears to be on a scooter, not Shover's much larger motorcycle.
You can look at the blinkers on the back. It's a different setup.
The person riding the bike appears to be wearing a business suit.
I don't think I own one.
You don't own a suit?
I don't think so.
According to the violation notice, the license plate on this scooter is registered to Shover. This is a photo of that license plate captured by the school bus camera. Can you make out the tag number? We can't, and neither can Shover.
I couldn't read it. It was so blurry. Them letters could be anything, really.
Under a recent Florida law, cameras mounted on school buses can be used to ticket violators. But first, law enforcement must review the video. In this case, Sergeant Giovanni Paveda with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office certified that the scooter illegally passed a school bus and that this license plate is registered to Shover. The fine amount, $225.
I was flustered, especially when I seen how much the ticket was.
Shover should be able to contest his traffic ticket in court, but first he must cut off this corner of the violation notice and mail in this tiny piece of paper. Then Shover will have to wait for a court hearing to be scheduled. He could be waiting a while. According to a recent report in the Miami Herald, there are plenty of bogus violations the deputies are not weeding out, and getting a hearing has so far been impossible. Similar complaints prompted this class action lawsuit against the camera vendor, the school district, and Miami-Dade County.
And that's quite a drive. I'm going to have to take a day off of work.
Shover hopes he'll eventually get a virtual court hearing online so he doesn't have to travel to Miami to dispute the ticket.
I might have to buy a suit, you know.
And News 6 is getting results. Earlier today, after this story first published on clickorlando.com, Ray Shover said he received a phone call from the Miami-Dade County Sheriff's Office. According to Shover, the agency has agreed to dismiss his school bus violation. You know, that's the whole point, that they have someone who's supposed to look at these to make sure it is correct and that innocent people aren't getting
I don't know how they
citations.
saw any license plate on that picture. Clearly, it's important to protect these kids on the buses.
Absolutely, because it is a big problem of people not stopping.
I've seen it all the time, but you got to police it effectively. So we'll see how that goes into the future. Democrats are hoping for a big upset in the U.S. House District 6 special election. This is the seat that was vacant since Mike Waltz resigned from Congress to become President Trump's national security advisor. Today, he came under fire for possibly adding a journalist to a national security chat group.
The chat was discussing plans for military strikes in Yemen. Republican Randy Fine has been expected to win that seat, but he has surprisingly been out-fundraised by his Democratic opponent, Josh Weil. News 6's Laverne McGee is tracking this local race in the national spotlight.
Josh Weil and his liberal Washington backers want open borders and higher taxes.
Have you seen this political ad for U.S. House candidate Republican Randy Fine?
Randy Fine, unhinged, un-American.
How about this one for his challenger, Democrat Josh Weil? The special election race for U.S. House seat in District 6 is heating up. It was left vacant by Mike Waltz, who is now President Trump's national security advisor. It's a large, heavy Republican stronghold that covers parts of Volusia, Flagler, St. John's, Marion, Putnam, and Lake counties. President Trump won here by 30 points, and he's endorsed Randy Fine.
I've been honored to see him several times already since he became president. He gave me a challenge coin. It's actually not fair to call it a challenge coin because it's the size of like a dessert plate, but to honor me for the big win that we had in our primary with 83%. And I appreciate his support as I get ready for my election on April 1st.
But challenger Josh Weil thinks Fine having President Trump's endorsement will actually work against him.
When we flip this seat and we take it back, and the only thing my opponent ran on was Donald Trump's endorsement, every single Republican legislator in this country is going to have to start being accountable to their constituents and representing them with fidelity in Congress.
We went out to Lake County to hear what voters think about Fine.
He's a Republican and Trump's backed him. That's the main reason.
He's honest. He's not corrupt, and he'll do a good job.
So you're voting for Randy Fine?
Absolutely.
Republicans just seem to make the country do better. And like all the prices and everything just seems to be better.
And Weil.
He wants to protect Social Security, protect the environment, public school system.
Randy Fine is way too conservative for my tastes. That's all I'm going to say.
I know there's some people in this county that would disagree with this, but the Republican Party has failed, especially the senior citizens.
The race is far from over. You can expect to see more TV ads up until Election Day on April 1st.
Laverne McGee, Getting Results, News 6.
More federal spending cuts are impacting Central Florida. This time, Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency is closing office space for Social Security.
So the Tesla and SpaceX founder and close ally of President Trump also has the support of Brevard County's congressman. News 6's James Sparvero tells us why he says services will not be lost.
Look, there's going to be some tough cuts here. I don't disagree at all.
That was Congressman Mike Herodopoulos last week at Port Canaveral answering questions about DOGE. Today, federal job cuts bring me to this small Social Security office on Dairy Road in Melbourne. DOGE says it's closing May 16th. Important to note, there's a full-service Social Security office just 3 miles away on NASA Boulevard. That's staying open. This office is where people who want benefits go if they have a hearing or an appeal. DOGE says closing it will save $263,000.
DOGE is really identifying a lot of waste.
Congressman Herodopoulos says this location was only used about once a week, and the hearings were mostly done virtually or over the phone. Now, DOGE does have supporters and critics, too, like these protesters this month at an Orlando Tesla dealership. Armed with more anti-Elon Musk signs, there's also been protesters like this at the Merritt Island Tesla dealer.
Mr. Musk is a danger to this country, and I want the public to know that.
About this story, Congressman Herodopoulos says he's protecting Social Security as a whole.
We are going to make sure that two programs are not cut. Those are Social Security and Medicare. Those are promises made and which we must keep for generations to come.
I went on DOGE's website, clicked on the Savings tab, and I found another federal agency closing its doors in Melbourne. A tiny Small Business Administration location is being closed too, DOGE says, to save taxpayers thousands more. In Brevard County, I'm James Sparvero, Getting Results, News 6.
Well, it's Central Florida's #1 news website, clickorlando.com. So let's see what's trending right now. Launching in 2026, Legoland Florida Resort will debut a first-of-its-kind indoor roller coaster, marking the largest single in-park investment. The park shared video of the concrete pour as construction is already underway for the new attraction.
$90 million has been dedicated to the attraction in Florida, along with a similar roller coaster being built in Legoland, California. The experience intends to showcase the creative world of Lego. How detailed, specifically designed for families with kids ages 2 to 12. If you have a little one, Legoland is a great place.
It is, and
go.
the fact that this is indoor, I'm hoping that obviously means it'll be air conditioned,
Yeah.
which would be really nice in the summer. So
I think Legoland could maybe use a little marketing prowess from Disney or Universal, where they they wet your beak. Let us know what the ride is going to be. Don't just show us concrete being
I don't know,
poured.
has us talking about it.
Has me complaining about it.
There you go. Here are some of the other trending stories right now at clickorlando.com. Florida Citrus Sports detailed its proposal to host the Jacksonville Jags for the 2027 NFL season at Camping World Stadium. The organization is seeking funding to secure a minimum of 8 home games while the Jags Everbank Stadium undergoes renovations. A representative estimated that each game could generate about $20 million for the local economy.
I don't know where they come up with those big
I
round
don't know either, but I
numbers.
guess they have an idea of how many people might attend the game, how many hotel rooms that is, how many meals at restaurants.
It's just a nice round 20.
20 mil.
Sure. All right, and Florida Governor Ron DeSantis held a news conference in Palm Bay where he announced significant funding aimed at enhancing water quality and conservation efforts across the state. That includes preserving state treasures like the Everglades and the Indian River Lagoon. Funding for the program will be provided by the Seminole tribe.
Well, sometimes rodeo cattle need to run around for a bit. It just doesn't help when it's on the interstate. More than 30 breaking free on a Houston highway. Of course, it's Texas. Bystanders and law enforcement work together to round up the steers. But first, dogs just love to claw away at the weather stripping. I know my dog has been guilty of causing some damage around the house. If you have this same problem, News 6's Eric Von Anken is getting results at home for an easy fix.
You're watching News 6 at 6:30. We're live right now on News 6 Plus, getting results in Metro West, Bethune Beach, and all of Central Florida. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places.
Your Tuesday evening traffic alert. Just watch out, please, overnight for some delays along the Florida Turnpike. You can see out here just north of the Mineola area, specifically right around Claremont, we will see lane closures multiple times through multiple mile markers. So be careful. Same thing applies out here, 417 north and southbound. No shutdown scheduled overnight, but just watch out for those active construction zones. I'm Trooper Steve with the News 6 traffic alert. Drive safely. I'll catch you in the morning.
Dee and friends. Wow, hey guys.
That was a good camera, though.
All right, well, now that they're a little calmer, Dee, it seems like you already know that I'm Eric Von Ank and the Handy Newsman.
Right.
And Destiny is in your house
I'm
already. Oh, hi.
And that's Bella.
Hi, Bella. Nice to meet you, too. So she was trying to tell you, let me out by biting on
Scratching.
the weather
and
stripping.
Just like incessantly.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Well,
guys.
let's get started. Okay, here's the good news. As ugly as this looks, it's really not bad at all because this is a trim piece. This piece pulls out. So step one is to work out the old trim. There's a groove, so I'm just going to try and pull the trim out of this groove. That wasn't bad at all. Okay, step two now is Destiny's favorite. Go shopping!
Woo! Yes!
Apparently Dee's favorite too. Yeah, well, when you do go shopping, here's your house hack for you. Make sure to take your old piece with you. Thank you, Dee. So this way the new piece matches up with the old one exactly. It'll be a perfect fit. But before I put the new trim in, you can see the door frame has some pretty deep scratch marks. So I'm gonna use a sanding block and try and sand this smooth. Good enough. Dee, go ahead. Okay, Dee's gonna paint this later, so now we're just gonna put the trim in. When I get to the bottom, it's gonna show me exactly where I can clip off the extra. That's it. Gonna go get Dee? Well, Dee, how'd we do?
Good. She says, I don't care. I just want to go outside.
But River's trained to never do that again, right?
Watch.
We got results at home, Dee?
We did.
River's so cute. It's amazing that River did that much damage.
I don't believe that River would ever do something like that. I will say I've had to change those before at my house because they get worn down and you start to see light through the door. He's very smart to tell you to take it with you because you get to Lowe's or Home Depot or Ace or wherever, there's a million different options.
It's what you call a pro tip.
Pro tip.
Right there. Now, if you have a project you'd like Eric to tackle, send us an email at gettingresultsathome@wkmg.com. And next week, Eric just might show up at your house.
All right, let's take a look at our Mount Dora cam. It's such a lovely little town in Central Florida. You can see the cars moving around, and it's beautiful to be in any Florida town today. A few of them in spots got some rain, not too many of them. Mostly it was just another nice warm day, John.
Yeah, for the most part, we could use the rain. We keep on talking about that. If you're heading out this evening, maybe to Mount Dora, it's going to be nice. We're dry in Mount Dora for the rest of tonight. There's just a very itty-bitty chance that we get a pop-up storm. Mainly south of Kissimmee, St. Cloud into Merritt Island. That's basically our area that we're watching for any kind of pop-up activity. All this junk you see on your screen right now, this is way south. For reference, here is Palm Bay. This is the Brevard County line. We have a little downpour right around Yeehaw Junction right now. All of the rockin' stuff, though, closer to Indian River County, even closer toward Fort Pierce, Port St. Lucie as well. That is sliding off of the coast. We'll take you a little closer into Yeehaw Junction. And this is exactly what we're talking about here. There's a stray little downpour just to the east of Lake Toho, right there on the east side of the turnpike, and then closer to Yeehaw Junction. No lightning associated with this just yet, but we're going to be watching that closely as we move through the rest of the evening. We'll put the play button on here to show you what's been going on over the last 30 minutes. Really coming in just south of Kenansville, drifting off to the south and east. Micco, good evening. We are dry. Grand Falcaria, we're on the drier side as well. No doubt the bigger thunderstorms are way off towards our south, and that should be where they stay. There's 7, 8 o'clock. There's the zoomed in look again, and everybody else from Apopka into Zellwood, Deltona, DeLand, we are dry for the rest of tonight. Same goes for us in Ocala, Denellen into the villages. The rest of it sweeps off the coast. There's 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. Watch out for some patchy fog. That's really all she wrote on that term, and no rain to speak of tomorrow. 9, 10 o'clock, we lose that fog and we get dominant sunshine again today. That's going to help to warm us back up into the middle 80s. There's a little sea breeze getting going. No rain associated with it this time around like what we saw in parts of Central Florida today. Just a few extra clouds coming with the heating of the day tomorrow. And that's really, again, all she wrote there. We're going to be dry not only for the rest of tonight for most of Central Florida, but really through the week ahead. Not good news when you're talking about the drought index. This is the Keach-Byram drought index. This is a rolling index that continues to build on itself based on the amount of moisture we get, based on how dry the vegetation and soil is, things like that. The higher the number, the worse the drought situation is getting. You may have heard earlier today, the Lake County is now officially in a burn ban. And to get out of that burn ban, this 500 number on the Keach-Byram drought index needs to get back below 500 and stay there for the next 5 days. You see elsewhere through Central Florida and Volusia County through Seminole, we are getting very, very close to that 500 number as well. And again, it's the higher number as you see here. That's when things start to get really, really bad. I don't see that changing at least for the next 5 or 6 days. I think the first bit of relief we get, I think, rolls around on Sunday. Here's a live look right now in downtown Orlando with our Light Orlando delivering Hope Skycam. Air temperatures in the lower 80s. The breeze out of the west-northwest at about 6 miles an hour. We're at 80 in Bushnell, 84 in Ocala. Now here's a look at your Pinpoint Accurate forecast.
Your forecast is sponsored by the Florida Lottery.
Some patchy fog back tonight. Temperatures start off in the low 50s in Ocala, 54 in Denellen. We're back to around 60 through the I-4 corridor. Watch out again for some patchy fog. High temperatures tomorrow in the mid to upper 80s. A warm afternoon across Central Florida. Upper 70s along the coast. After some fog early, dominant sunshine comes our way. Some positive indications that we will have some rainfall coming down the pipeline. We still have to wait for it, though. Again, the rest of the work week is dry. The weekend is dry. There's that 30% shot for storms on Sunday. That percentage, you're likely going to see that tick up over the next couple of days as we get more confidence in where exactly and the timing of that storm system. The one thing you also notice, it's going to stay nice and toasty, guys. Temperatures back to the mid-80s for most of the week ahead.
All right, back to Florida stuff. Jonathan, thank you. Stick with us. We'll be right back.
Coming up in the morning, improving safety around a local elementary school.
How 3 local cities are coming together to get results and what it'll eventually mean for hundreds of students.
Plus your Pinpoint weather and traffic every 10 minutes. We'll see you for News 6 mornings starting at 5.
Well, more than 30 cattle that had been at a Houston rodeo broke loose and started running free on the highway.
And it was a team effort that was needed to round them all up. Bryce Newberry spoke with law enforcement and witnesses.
The rodeo officially ended Sunday, but these roping steers apparently didn't want the fun to end just yet. Fortunately, everyone is okay. All the steers are now accounted for, but it's left many who have seen this saying, only in Texas. In standstill traffic with his arms wide, this driver jumped out of his SUV and tried to stop two roping steers running down the main lanes of I-45 northbound. They got loose around 11:30 Monday morning on their way back to Fannin County from the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, jumping barriers and shutting down the North Freeway as law enforcement ran after them.
We live in Texas, so, it's nothing new.
Elise Moore works at a nearby business.
And I was like, give me a horse, I'll help out.
And watched as two of the loose steer ran onto their property.
They were just kind of running around in the parking lot, ate some grass back there.
A latch came loose on the trailer door carrying 31 steers, the Harris County Sheriff's Office says. The driver kept control of 25 of them, but the rest had to be corralled by law enforcement.
These particular cows are made for roping. They're meant to come out of a chute and take off running.
Deputies tried to keep up, wanting to keep an eye on them at all times. Some ended up in a wooded area. A DPS chopper kept watch overhead, and crews on the ground worked to find them. Cell phone video captured a deputy guiding one steer through a median and back to a trailer. Law enforcement suggests letting them do the hard work.
You start honking your horn, you start chasing them, waving your hands. All you do is put pressure on them and they want to run.
4 hours after breaking loose, we captured all of the steers being loaded back onto the trailer they came in.
We're just kind of enjoying the show, fortunately, but hope all the cows are okay.
Ready to go home after a disruptive detour.
I like how the cops were making a lesson out of it. Like, listen, hey, if cattle is ever on the highway near you, don't honk your horn as if that happens every day. Yeah.
I like how that woman was like, I'll help out. Give me a horse.
Yeah, give me a horse. Yeah, it's
round
Texas.
Them up. Yeah.
You said that was Texas.
We have
Right.
gators on our streets. And that's the way we like it.
Thanks for watching News 6 at 6:30. You can stream News 6 online anytime on our News 6 Plus Smart TV app.
Remember, we break news at clickorlando.com. We'll see you tonight at 11 o'clock. Have a good night.